Okay guys, it's our daily reading time. This week we're going to be looking at passages that are fiction based. I know we've been doing a lot of non-fiction, so we're going to start going back to fiction because we need to practice reading fiction and kind of answering some questions. So let's start reading. Miss Monroe was famous for calling on her students to work math problems on the board in front of the entire class. I hated doing anything that involved reading aloud or presenting anything in front of a crowd. I could tell by the way she gathered the stack of questions and a marker that several people would be called on today. Please don't call on me. Please, please, I thought. Miss Monroe called Andy. Will you please come up to the board? Thank goodness, it's not me, I thought. I was so relieved when I wasn't called on at all today. I am sure glad I wasn't that unlucky. I am sure glad I wasn't that unlucky. I probably won't be that fortunate tomorrow. So let's kind of think about our character. So we don't really know the name of our character, but we know he doesn't like being called on in front of the entire class. And kind of just think about that yourself. Like, think about if the teacher was to call on you. Do you like being called on? Do you like answering questions? Or do you not? And think about, why don't you like being called on? Okay, so let's look at the first one. The student's thought about the teacher's activity shows that so what did he think about what Miss Monroe was doing? So let's kind of go back and see if we could find. It says, I hated doing anything that involved reading aloud or presenting anything in front of a crowd. Okay, so we know that he doesn't really like being called on. So what is his thoughts about the teacher's activity? A, is concerned about being called on. Well, yeah, because it says he hated doing that, so he did not. And it says right here, please don't call on me, please, please, please. So he doesn't want to be called on. Understands why the teacher calls on students. Does he understands? No. Well, he knows that they're going to do problems. Thinks he will learn something important. Nope. Enjoys the word please. No. So the student's thoughts about the teacher's activity shows that he is concerned about being called on. Okay. What can the reader conclude about the main character? So conclude, guys, means after reading about the main character, what do we know about him? What have we learned? So he is really good at math. Does it talk about if he's good at math? No. He thinks it's fun to repeat words. No, I mean, he repeated words, but he doesn't think it's fun. He has difficulty speaking to an audience. Okay. I mean, it says right here, I hate doing anything that involves reading aloud or presenting anything in front of a class. So maybe. He has worked math problems on the board before. No, it hasn't said anything about him working problems on the board before. So C, we know that after reading this that the main character has difficulty speaking to an audience because it talks about how I hate doing anything that involves reading aloud or presenting anything in front of a crowd. Okay. So the exit ticket for today. The prefix un, which we've been learning about prefixes, means not. List 3 words that belong with that prefix and define them. So for example, unlucky means not lucky. Okay, so I want you to write me 3 prefixes, 3 words that have a prefix, and tell me their meaning. All right.